All right, and here's another video on. Let me straighten you guys out there. Here's another video on authors and people, mostly authors and books that have inspired Wicked Jim to be who he is, kind of today. And the only thing I'm missing is one book, and I think it's because I lent it out, and it kind of frustrates me a little because it's one of my original copies, one of my first books I got. So don't mind me, my bedhead. But let's start in the beginning of the very first book that I've ever owned. My sister bought this for me. $14.95 was the full retail price. She bought it for me at this witch's store, at this witchy metaphysics store downtown. It's no longer there, which is I'm kind of sad about it. But the shopkeeper, he was kind of different. He was different, very sexual to my best friend Heather. So that was kind of awkward. But we used to get free stuff. But this is one of my books that I love the most, and that I still kind of run to whenever I need something basic, or not basic, but something like simple and something I can relate to and something like that. So I guess if I'm said at best basic, that makes me a basic witch. It makes sense. Anyways, Dorothy Morrison. She's one of my idols. I look up to her as a person who that sits me at a table, puts down the basic tools, the simplicity in this. Here's some herbs, here's a candle, here's some incense, here's an antheme, here's instructions, here's the structure of the spell I want you to do. Go. Oh, here's a chant if you need a little help. I feel like it's not very restricted and not very... I feel like she's not very traditional where she's a structure, a box. I feel like I have a ability to jump off of her and freelance off of her and get a notion. I feel like she's my foundation, and then I could jump off of her, and I can just be inspired from her. It's hard description, really good personal relationship, I would believe. That which leads into I went and digged out my books, went and digged out all my books, which leads out to The Utterly Wicked. Which, funny thing about this is that she had to go across the pond to get this to get this published, because Llewellyn didn't want to publish this because it was promoting a light that they didn't want to admit or accept or recognize or anything sort of associate with it. And this book is basically about some people think it's like a full-on attack thing. I think this book is more of a defense-offense book. It's just to protect you. It makes you feel safe. It also creates landmines around you, so you don't have some ill practitioner or a person with not such good intentions to be around you. This can help create spikes against those people. And I just adore Dorothy Morrison so much that I got all of her everyday things. And there goes one book, which I have to crawl and get now. The very first book I got was The Everyday Magic, and I love this because you can look up by little genres like empathy and inspiration and heartbreak and addictions, and you can look it up and you can find something to break off. Once again, Dorothy Morrison plays a really good thing in my life because she makes me feel like I can do anything with such simple tools in front of me. Simplicity in life. Then, of course, The Everyday Moon Magic. And this was really good. This was really fun to understand the effects of certain moons and certain houses and certain moons that are associated with astrological and planetarial and all that stuff. So it really helped me understand, as opposed to getting this thick-ass book and having the complex and having this, like, scientifically traditional ways about. Then I got really super excited because Everyday Sun Magic. And you know me, if you guys know me personally, you guys know I was trying to kickstart a fucking thing called Sunbots, and I need to like perfect that plan and whatnot and go forward with that. But yeah, that is in the makings. It's in my head. But this is a really good book. As you can tell, I spilled juice on it because I was out in the sun and tried to do meditation, and I accidentally spilled my lovely juice on it. Next person that I got into was D. Jane Conway. This book is one of my favorite books by her. I do have other books of her, like Celtic Magic. I think Shaman Magic was my other book I have of her. Little Big Book of Candle Magic. She's the one who inspired me to do candle magic. It's somewhere, I know somewhere in my altar area, the candle magic, which by the way, I think today I want to clean my altar and kind of give it a good brush and love, whatnot. But anyways, this book is amazing. It basically covers from A to Z by her. It has a lot of powders, ointments, chants. It has Drawing Down the Moon. It has the holidays. It has it's astral projection, dreams. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. One section in this book which I really liked was the whole entire ending the hand fasting, the death of remembrance, the protection ritual, developing psychic abilities, healing, making your own rituals, which is really helpful. And I also like the last part, the Book of Spells, which is like she gives you ingredients and whatnot. And I love DJ Conway. And plus, I know she lives in Oregon. I know she lives here. I know she lives really really close to her river somewhere down there, which is like 2-3 hours from here. So, and I have her on Facebook, and I would really like to meet her. And she's a Taurus, and my best friend's a Taurus, and I think that we could be best friends. Here's me being crazy fan fiction. But anyways, I love DJ Conway. So if you ever get a chance, look at The Complete Craft by DJ Conway. Get this book. This book is a really good handy book. Next is, which I'm kind of mad. And what fell down? Oh, yes, I do need this book. As I fall on my butt. The next author is Scott Cunningham, which I'm kind of mad. Gotta rearrange myself here. I'm kind of mad because Wicca, the Solitary Guide, I can't find it, and I think I loaned it out to a friend, and I don't think I'm ever going to get back, so I can buy it. But that was the very first book that I got by him. The second book was The Incense, Oils, and Brews. And this is my fourth copy, because every time I get a copy, actually, this is my first one, actually, to come think of it, because it's frailing right here. I have purchased 4 times of this, because I keep seeing it, and I was like, this is a good deal. I can actually buy it for $2.99, and I can loan it to someone else. This book helped me of making my own incense and oils more than anything in the world. And if you're a big fan of Wicca Gem, you would know that oils and incense are kind of my forte. Then of course the secondary book is the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs and everything. I got the Metal Stone book and whatnot, but I haven't really cracked into that book because I don't think I have a relationship with stones yet. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm ready for that relationship. But this book is also helpful. It helped me figure out a lot of associations with my goddess Hecate and what herbs go with her. Also, it helped me deal with poison, and kind of helpful that even the simple prettiest looking flower could be the deadliest poisonous flower. That being said, you have to get Earth Power and an Earth, Air, Fire, Water book. These are elemental books. These actually help you. This first book kind of deals with the basics of the elements and maybe a little bit of infuse with it. This book, however, is like the advanced version, if not expansion version of it, which I love the snow magic and the star magic in this book. Next book by Jamie Wood is the Teen Book of Spells. This book really helped me when I was a kid to help me create how would you say it? It helped me being kind of person, a nice person with this book. I also do like this book because I still go back to it because simple things, it's really simple. I like simple. I like straight across the board kind of thing. Of course, in my previous video, you guys know Christopher Penczak. This is one of my solid, Sons of Goddess is one of my solid books, one of my foundations, if you will, that kind of created Wicked Gem. The next two books are not a well-known author. I'm just trying to get all my books situated because I'm about to clean my room dramatically. So the next two authors are not well famous, but they were really a big piece of my life. And Wicca: Beliefs and Practice by Gary Cantrell. This book, when I first got this book, and I can tell you when, because in this book it has moon phases, and it was just enough to deal with that whole year, which forgot. It's been a moment since I read this book, and I would love to reread it and go through it again. But here it is. The moon tables, full moon and dark moons dates of 2004 from 1999 to 2004. This is how I can tell you that I got this book in like literally 2002, I think, is when I got this book. He's kind of a very how would you say this gentleman would be like? He's kind of that super cool uncle that has its own belief, the hippie uncle that smokes a lot of peyote and likes to hang out in backyards and woods and whatnot, but has a very traditional, structural, but yet open to your views. This is how this book is. It also helped with me with my knot magic, which is something that he's really good at. And I don't think a lot of you don't know that. Knot magics. I'm into that. The last author that I can really think of really quickly, because I know all these books I have affected me on a personal level, and sometimes on a spiritual level, and sometimes on an emotional level, but Paul Smith. And this is not a witchy book, and as you can tell, I terrorize this book. This book is an amazing book. Okay, so this might be like a 5-minute rant right here before I close off this video. But this book, Paul explains tarot cards at a very psychological, empathic, understanding, connection between a reader and a client. He also doesn't believe in the spooks and mirrors and stuff, but he does believe in psychic energy. He does believe in clearing the deck. He does believe in certain elements and certain things around you that can affect your reading. He also believes in images are also very vivid. So when you get a tarot card reading from someone who looks very haggard and very, dirty and whatnot, you're gonna have this kind of dirty, icky feeling. So he's like presentation. So he's kind of a very professional suit tie kind of person. You can find him on here on YouTube. He has a couple videos. I have him personally on my Facebook, which I would like to message him and tell him how impressive I am, and I made a video about him. But he also believes in that, but he doesn't really necessarily believe that you need to be in the new moon, and you need like the 5th house in the planet of Jupiter, up Uranus and through Mercury's asshole, and you need the 5 twigs over here and a candle here and a dead mother here and a neighbor's cat that you stole 3 days ago. You don't need all this superstition and overly tradition and all these little things that can create a reading. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is not the pagan times. This is not the old times. This is not back in the day. So he gives you that feeling. Also, he's really famous in the 7-card reading, which is one of my spreads that I do work with. He does separate the major arcana with the minor arcana. So he wants you to connect with the major arcana first, because those are the dramatic cards. Those are the cards are kind of in solid, and then he gets you with the major arcana, which is the ace to 10, where you connect to them, which those are the lower, easy to bend, will, and change if you need, or they're not such a set in stone kind of situation. And then he gets you to the court cards, which this really helped me with the court cards. It was, chapter 7. Helped me with the court cards. Not every court card is associated with its looks. Not every fair skin is not every fair skinned person is a fiery person. So he's trying to get you out of the old ways and trying to get you in the new ways in a way by compromising between the past and the future kind of thing to make it understandable in the present. It's so weird, but you have to check him out. Mastering the Tarot by Paul Fenton Smith. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He has other books, but this book I only paid $10, and I know it's really pricey now, and I wish I tried to treat this book a little well because it's kind of pricey, but he does have revised versions, which I have like 3 of them already by different type of books by him. But anyways, this is a challenge for you guys. What books made you who you are currently today? What made you who you are? What authors affected you and whatnot? But till then, guys, video challenge. First one ever for you guys in a long time. Anyways, love you. Bye. Ugh.